Hey, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to another episode of P1TALKS. This is episode 12, and we are very excited to have everybody listening tonight. We appreciate everybody who tunes into these podcasts live. We appreciate everybody who listens to them after the fact. We all know you have busy lives, and whenever you get a chance to take a listen here, we really appreciate it. Just want to get a few things out of the way before we get going here. Phase one trading is kind of like legging up lately, and we're really excited that we announced a new Discord last week that we're running these days. So check that out. The link is in the description if you want to come and hang out with us in there. That's awesome. And something that I'm pretty happy with also is that we did a partnership with the Bull Runners group. Leader Trading and Cooper Trades run that group, and we're really humbled to be a part of a cancer charity with them. So a portion of all the proceeds are being donated to a cancer charity that's in connection with Leader's mother, who is a cancer survivor. So it's just kind of like an awesome cause. And everybody here at Phase One is just very excited to be a part of that. And it's just a great thing. You can always follow us on Twitter at Phase One Trading. And if you like the content that you hear tonight, go ahead and like and subscribe this YouTube and hit that notification bell for when we do these podcasts live. These podcasts are all live. We do not edit these. We just go. So we are live here tonight, and we're excited to have you. Just a quick note, no one that you're listening to here tonight is a licensed financial advisor. So anything we say here is for entertainment and educational purposes only. And with that, I'm excited to introduce our guest. He's a returning guest to the show, BACKK, and he's back. LB, what's up, man? You're on mute.
What's going on?
Hey, what's going on?
I make sure I did this right. Yeah.
So
not much, man.
So we're excited to have you back on the show. We appreciate that you like us enough to want to come back on, which is super cool. I know a lot of things in the market have changed since we last spoke, so we're going to get into a lot of that. But above all, how's Miami treating? I know the last time you were up here freezing with me in New York, and now I'm jealous, man.
Yeah, no, it's I love it, man. It's the best move. Like, you guys are in New York, right?
Yeah, I'm on Long Island.
I'm in Florida. How about you?
Yeah, well, Chris is originally from New York.
Yeah.
I get the credit.
This is like the best move I ever made. Honestly, I love it. Right now, I'm looking at the water. I'm sitting on my balcony.
Nice.
I saw that shot that you put out today. You were like, "Here's to all the haters. I'm just hanging out." Like, no shoes. Yeah. You got like that bridge out in the background. I was like, man, I would just be out there all day if I were you, dude. I'm on the totally opposite spectrum of you. I live a suburban life. I'm a family man of 2 kids. Like it's like dinner for kids every day. And like you're living the dream life in my eyes. So good for you, man. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
What floor are you on, by the way, up there?
I'm on like 30 something.
Jeez,
damn.
That's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
How long is the elevator ride on something like that?
It's actually pretty quick. The only issue with this place is, I guess, because of COVID, like you can't like you get some fucking stiffs that are like, oh, you can't have more than 4 people in the elevator. So like the elevator will show up and like, no one will let you in. It's fucking annoying. But then you get some people that are like, no, we don't care. We file like 12 people into the elevator. Like nobody cares. No. So it just depends. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
Depending on that whole situation, you could be waiting a long time though. It's just kind of annoying.
Really? So, I mean, you got to get to the pool pretty quick, right? That pool looks pretty sweet.
Oh, dude, I go there like, a couple times a week.
That's not the type of place where there's like a lot of old. That's not like when I think of Florida, I just think of a lot of old people. But I think Miami's different, right? Like there's something to look at that around that pool, or what?
Oh yeah, no, yeah. So like this place is all like young people. Like
that's
don't
awesome.
You go to the pool, like, it's all young people. There's
nice.
I'm the one that's stuck with the old people over here in Naples. So yeah, they migrated over here, dude. You got all the young people over
there. Yeah, no, this is like a party hotel. It's like
nice.
It's dope. It's cool.
That is cool. So I wanted to dig into some things that are going on lately. So you've been kind of like pretty like aggressive on Twitter lately, huh? Like I like it. I think the content is cool. Like I think that's what makes it exciting. And you said on the last show that you're really just on there to entertain yourself every day, and it seems like that's what you're doing. So
yeah, man.
So tell us a little bit about that. I know that you're pretty into buying bottoms lately, and you've definitely nailed a few from what I've seen. And you're definitely no bullshit, man. Like you put up your screenshots and everything. So I mean, I don't see anybody questions what you're doing because you're pretty transparent with what you're doing.
Oh yeah, like even in the Discord, like I show everyone everything I'm doing. And I was just like, you know what it is, man? Like, I think people, they underestimate like exactly what I'm doing. And they talk, I've just had enough, to be quite honest with you. Like, I know how to trade. So I don't give a shit if there's 10 followers or 10 million followers. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't care anymore at this point about like appealing to everybody, being nice to everybody, and trying to get as many followers as I can. Not talking on certain political issues or like certain things that might rub people the wrong. Like I honestly just don't care anymore. You know what I mean? And like when there's some of these traders that like just showed up out of nowhere, like in the past couple months, they just piss me off. You know what I mean? And it's like I'm tired of getting.
It seems like people are trying to just capitalize over the momentum of the market and getting their content out there that doesn't necessarily have anything to even do with stocks, but they're just tapping into stocks to try to be seen. I do kind of notice that, but I guess with that being said, the momentum of the market lately obviously has slowed down, right? Micros are like nothing, SPACs are like almost dead. It's getting harder and harder to trade, and I think what that's doing is it's definitely weeding out who knows what they're doing and who doesn't, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, we said this. I think I'm pretty sure we talked about this last time. I think we said this was going to happen, and like I know I've been saying it. The SPACs are dead, and if you don't learn how to trade, like there was a time not too long ago where like people literally thought they were going to be this big time SPAC trader, like. They're going to specialize in SPACs and like that's what they're going to make a career out of. And like that shit ended so quick. And now it's like, what are you going to do? You better learn how to fucking trade or else.
Well, I think the thing about SPACs, it's kind of like a two-part thing. And this is my opinion. I think what happened was the second there were too many of them and the SPAC market became saturated. I think that's when I personally started getting turned off to it. It was just a lot of quantity and not as much quality. With that being said, though, I think there is some quality still out there. I do like a few myself still, and it really just comes down to companies that are acquisition targets that are already making money. Those are the ones that I like. I'm not going to name the ones that I'm holding right now, but I like good management and I like a company that's making money already. And I could say right now, there's only 2 or 3 of them that are doing that are on my radar or I hold shares. So, the majority of them are definitely crap. But if you know where to look, there are still some good ones. But the thing about that is you have to have patience. Some of these plays, they're year-long plays. So, why not take advantage of volatility in the meantime? Not everybody could sit on, a chunk of change for a year and to let these come to fruition. And I think, a lot of people got impatient with them as well.
Yeah,
on the retail side, at least,
I find that the SPAC, like, so I don't know, man. Like, I could be dead wrong, but the only thing I've noticed is, like, I could be dead wrong about all the technicalities, and like, I'm sure there'll be some guy that'll tell me I'm wrong. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But the bottom line is, a SPAC is a highly diluted stock as far as shareholder equity,
right?
And an IPO is not. So
right.
That's right off the bat. You're not even on an even playing field. So like when people say, "Oh, well, LB, why don't you like ChargePoint?" Or, "I see you're always on Blink. Why don't you look at ChargePoint?" Like, I don't want to look at ChargePoint because ChargePoint was a SPAC. So it started as a SPAC. It's going to end as a SPAC. And all the people could be mad and upset. And again, I don't care because I stick to my rules. But all these SPACs, they start off like whatever, and then they end in the same. They all end like shit.
They're sexy shells, pretty much, are what they are, right?
Oh, dude, it's the thing is, it's nothing new. What they did was they reinvented the term reverse merger and called it SPAC. It's the same fucking bullshit that the OTC's been doing for decades. So it's the same exact thing, but you can't have, like, it's not even the same. It's not equal. Like an IPO stock versus a SPAC stock, a stock that started off the SPAC. They're not. Mm-hmm. They're like, no. I say this a lot about CCID. That one, I love the company, like the actual company, not the stock. I love the actual company, but I hate the stock. I think the stock is straight garbage. It's a 15% shareholder equity, if I'm not mistaken. And here's the problem with that: it's like you can't. There's no way you could fix that. What are you going to do? Buy up all the shares and retire them? Like, who's going to do that? There's no way. If they have any offering, that stock is done. Like, it's a piece of shit. But it's because it started as a SPAC. As a cash grab, pump and dump. But
I like what you just said too. You said, I like the company, but I don't like the stock. I think a lot of people that are listening, well, not a lot of people, hopefully not a lot of people that are listening, a lot of newer traders, they confuse that, where they love the stock and they love the stock because they love the company, and they don't realize that those two things need to line up. So I'm glad you said that. I think that's a good point that I just kind of want to highlight, is that you can like a stock and hate the company, or vice versa. That is. I
love the company. I love the car. I love the company.
Yeah,
I love it.
Car's hot.
But I just don't like the stock structure. I don't like the structure of the stock. It's garbage. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. Speaking of hot cars, man, that Toyota Supra is coming along pretty good.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
That thing came out the shop like 5 times already.
Yeah, man. You dumping a lot of cookies. You're dumping in that thing.
Yeah, no, I built that thing's a special edition. Like it's nice. A AC Schnitzer Supra. So it's like the Supra it's basically a BMW. Everybody knows that. So AC Schnitzer decided to build like a program for it, like a tuning program for it. So they have like the engine upgrade, the body kit, like all that shit. So I decided
I'm sorry.
Oh, so AC Schnitzer was it was BMW's racing team basically for like the last 50 years. They were the ones that helped BMW tune all their cars, and they were their racing team for 50 years. So they're a no bullshit tuner. They're like the real deal in Germany.
They're like a Hennessy or like a Roush, pretty much, right?
Yeah, I would say they're like a Roush or like a Shelby of Ford. Yeah, they are like that's what they are to BMW. They're like the real deal. So a lot of their parts are like super expensive and but they're super high quality, like OEM quality. Like that's why, like, I don't know, it's just good. They test it. Like, they don't just build a spoiler. They like wind tunnel test the spoiler.
So, you know what I mean? So when are you taking it to the track if you haven't already? What's it running?
I got an email today about it. Actually, the track is like backed up because of COVID. So I'm waiting to get a date. Yeah, I'm waiting to get a date for it. But
you've had it like on a dyno and stuff already.
Yeah, I tried to go to a dyno with these clowns. Dude, just like anything else, it was funny because I was thinking of trading. I went to this place, man, and there's a bunch of clowns running the shop. I have no clue what they're doing. Almost fucked my car up. Wow. And it just made me laugh. I was like, dude, everywhere you go, you got people that have no fucking clue what they're doing.
Speaking of not screwing it up, where are you parking that thing at night? Like, are you put like a cover on it and stuff?
Yeah, no, it's in a gated garage.
Yeah, nice.
I I don't park it on the street.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I keep my car in a garage. I used to have a Corvette C6 years ago that I would always garage, never saw rain, always put mobile fuel in it. Like I was meticulous. People would get in my vet and they'd be like, "Should I take my shoes off?" And I'd be like, "Honestly, yeah, you should." Like it was mint.
I love cars, man. The C6s
cool.
are nice.
Yeah, it was nice, man. It was an 06 C6. It was red, got the Targa glass roof. It was red with black interior. It was awesome, man. I was like 25 years old driving it. It was just like a good time. But
those are nice.
Yeah, dude, it was ridiculous. It felt like you were in an airplane, like the feeling that you get when those and I know you know what I'm talking about with the Superman. Like that feeling you get when that just pins you in your seat. There's nothing like that at all.
It's so fun, dude. I love cars, man. That's why, even with all this EV stuff, like I just love an engine with an exhaust.
I agree. No, I'm totally on the same page with you. And I also think EVs are cool just because of the speed. I think just the flat out, like, put it down to the ground, off the line, torque that they have is like, motors are cool, but that kind of off the line is pretty cool too, if you ask me. I mean,
it's a different type of, there's no curve.
It's direct drive, man. It's just like motor to the wheel.
Yeah. There's no like RPM curve. Like it just goes.
Yeah. I mean, there's videos even online you could see. I don't want to get off on a car tangent here. I think maybe we should do a whole nother show about cars. I think I could just keep talking to you about cars, honestly. But there's one thing that I'll say. There's a guy on YouTube somewhere where they gutted like a Model 3 Tesla. They just gutted it, lightened it up, and they did whatever. It's like a dual motor or whatever. But he was at a track and, he's going against like all these hot rods and just smoking them like one after the other. And like,
yeah, dude, they're extremely fast.
It's so cool. But it sounds like crap. It's like, it's just speed. You don't get the smell. It's not the experience.
First of all, they don't look like, and this goes back to like the clowns on Twitter I was talking about. I post a picture of my car, right? I know it looks good. I know it's sick. Like no one has to tell me, even though I appreciate everyone who's like nice about it. But then there's like some douchebag who's like, your car's a piece of shit. Go buy a Tesla. It's faster. It's like, fuck you, bro. Like the Tesla is ugly. That's where it's different. Like a Model S is ugly. Like
people got to realize to each his own, man. It's like, it's ridiculous. Right. Like when you get stuff like that, like no matter what, it's almost like no matter what you do on social media, there's always one. You know what I mean? It's like I'm. But
this is what I wanted to like touch on though, because it goes back to like, how much of a fucking piece of garbage do you have to really be where like you just have to say something negative? There was another guy who bought his mom a truck, right?
Yeah. I didn't see that.
He bought his mom a truck and his mom was super excited. And what do? They're like, yo, that truck's a piece of shit. Like, dude, what's wrong with people? You know what I'm saying? And like these are people
are miserable. That's what it is.
Dude, like they don't.
Especially now, man. Especially now with COVID, man. People are just pissed in general.
Yeah.
I know COVID. Now it's more of like normal life, like dealing with all this kind of life, right? But
dude,
I remember when it first started, I kind of like after the first like 2 months, I almost like hit a breaking point too. Like people were just starting to get to me,
Yeah. Well, no, I'm at that point now.
It seems like it. Let's get back to EV stuff really quick though. Yeah. And Blink. So Blink is a style I've been kind of emulating your style a little bit with some of these trades because I'm actually on like a personal leave right now from my career job, and I have some time to trade and I have some time to take care of some family items and things, and so I have a different approach to the market, and it's just so happens that the market is slowing down at the same time. So what I've been doing is kind of like what you're doing with Blink, where you pick a quality stock, something that's not between $1 and $5, right? Something that has, predictable movements, and, you get like a 10 to 15% kind of weekly range on it. And I've been doing that. I've been doing it with Tesla. I've been doing it with Blink. There's a few others that I kind of do. So maybe could you kind of explain like a brief version how you approach a stock like Blink? Because I think right now, especially with these market conditions, it's a very effective way to trade. Is kind of just don't worry about trying to find everything every day. Just pick 3 or 4 stocks you like and then just trade those.
Well, that's why. So like before when we opened this thing up, and you said like the market's getting tough and this and that. I just wanted to touch on that because like my style, it's it's constant. Like the market has never been all that tough for me with my style, because it's the same thing all the time. I'm trading technicals. I'm not trading necessarily a bull market or bear market. I'm trading the chart and the technicals and the bounce level. So
and you just get familiar with one or two stocks, right? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, well, even if I start on a new stock, like Max is like this new one I started trading, right?
Yeah,
so like Max, I don't know it like the back of my hand, but I've been on it for about a week, and yeah, I've been trading it. I sell it, I buy it, I sell it. You know what I mean? When it goes up, I sell, I take profits, because I know it's not gonna just stay up there, like it's gonna dip. You know what I mean? So I'll take profits on the rips when it comes back down. I know I've been on it for a week already, so I know, like, all right, I could buy at 35. It's solid over here. You know what I mean? So like I start to know the stock, just like I start to know like a friend or a person that you hang out with after a while. You know,
exactly.
You start to, like, kind of like know their ways and stuff.
Exactly.
It's the same thing with the stock. It's like I start to know.
It's funny that you said, because I say that in my group all the time. I'm like, you know, these stocks almost like become your kids, and you just know their behaviors. You know when they're bad. You know when they're good. You know how to deal with them. You know, and it seems like buying. What do you? I guess I got a question floating in the back of my mind as you were saying that. What do you find? What do you find is harder, buying a bottom or selling a top? Like, what do you find
for me
easier?
Buying the bottom is the easier part for me, just because I have it down to like a specific science. And selling the top is a little harder. Like, for example, I told people in the chat today to get out of snow at like 237, because it looked like a top real quick over there, and then it ended up pushing to 239 something. So I was like, see, you guys, this is why I can't give you the exit alerts, because it'll fucking go up higher, and then you guys get mad that it goes higher. So sometimes it's hard to nail the top, because they can overextend a little bit. But I have the bottom part down to like a science, but I also have the top part pretty damn good too.
What's the main indication you're using for the top?
Candles, and there's many ways to identify a top. It just depends on like what you're like. Which was it?
I know it's a pretty broad question. I know
there's tons of ways to look at it. It's hard to explain.
I mean RSI, MACD.
Well, the candle itself can tell you, but also if it's sitting like way too high above the SMA, that's like one indicator. If the RSI is in the 90s, it's like guaranteed to dump. If we'll look at, you guys trade OTC, right?
Yeah, we've been dipping back in as well. It seems like that's where the party's at right now.
Yeah, so I knew you guys saw RGBPP, right? So yeah, we all knew that was like a no-brainer with the amount of hype and like blah blah blah, right? So we trade it. It's good, nothing wrong with the stock, but it hit like 16 something, and it couldn't go, or 17, whatever it was, and it couldn't go any higher. And I pointed this out again in the chat room. I was like, guys, you see the RSI is 92 or whatever it is, 94. This thing can't go any higher. So that's when you sell. You know you're overstaying your welcome. The RSI is in the 90s. You're overstaying your welcome. I don't care what is going on with the company.
You can always buy them back.
Yeah, you get out. You wait for it to cool off, and when it cools off, you get back in. But now let me just go on a tangent for a second.
No problem.
Because I wake up this morning, and there's some fucking guy. I'm gonna go off on a tangent for a second.
I'll stop you if I have to.
Yeah. No, but like, dude, I know what I'm doing. Okay.
Right.
I'm 34 years old. I'm an adult. I'm pretty sure you have to be an adult to open up a brokerage account. So I expect everybody else to be a fucking adult. So I wake up in the morning and some guy's like, hey man, I really think that it's not okay that you share these OTC stocks because a lot of your followers are getting burned. I'm like, okay, well, sucks for them, doesn't it? Because they're the ones who aren't trading it right. Like the guy's bringing up tickers from weeks ago, and it's like, who the fuck told you? I didn't tell you where to hold it till or where to sell it or like to do anything with it. So like, just for example, we'll use RGBPP, right? Amazing trade. First of all, I chased it at 4 cents. Okay. It was up hundreds of percent at 4 cents. I chased it. It goes to 16. So that's 200 or 300% more, right? Now, if I sell, I'm allowed to sell. I'm allowed to take profits. I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do, right? Now, if the stock dumps from there and someone happens to get back, is that my problem? Because at the end of the day, and I'm talking to all you new guys who literally just talk fucking shit all the time and you take no accountability for your own fucking trades. If a stock drops news on big boards, drops news, these pharmaceutical companies, they drop news, it spikes, everyone buys, and they get bagged. Are you saying that companies shouldn't drop news anymore because people are getting bagged? Is that what you're saying?
Sell the news.
Because that's what it sounds like.
Sell
they're
the
fucking
news, man.
saying.
I'm guilty of it. When I first started trading, everybody buys the news. They're all excited. It's sell the news. And, you know,
right.
9.9 times out of 10, sell the news is not going to hurt you.
Right. So if I play a stock that goes up and then eventually goes down and people get bagged, that's my problem? Or is like, how is that different than a company dropping news, spiking like that piece of shit today, LGVN or whatever it was, some garbage Alzheimer's news that like pops and bags everyone at $9.50 and drops to $7. Is that, whose fault is that? Was that the company's fault because they dropped news? Is that the person's fault who played it? Is that the person's fault who played the news like they're supposed to? Whose fault is it? It's nobody's fault.
Hate the game, man. That's it. It's like even in our group, you know, we say, hey, I'm targeting this. This is the fundamental aspect of it. This is the technical aspect of it. Take an entry here. This is where you want your stop to be. This is the range that we're targeting to take profits, and that's it. And then from there, you know, you're on your own. But that's the trade idea, you know. Dude, so we put out a detailed idea, let you know where my stop is going to be. So you put your stop where you want it, but this is where my stop is, and that's how you avoid bags, man. And I know you don't hold bags, and the reason why a guy like you and a guy like me don't have bags is because we've been there and we've learned from it, right? And and now we set stops. And dude, anybody who's in a bag, pretty much you went into something thinking it was a day trade. Then it was like, oh, I'm going to add to it. Oh, now it's a long-term hold. It's like your whole strategy. If your strategy changes from, you know, 3 strategies throughout intraday, you know, you're not going into the market with a plan. And I think that's what it really comes down to. It's like, you need to go into these trades with a plan. Is this a day trade? Is this a swing trade? Is this an investment where I'm going to be, you know, trading the range and holding a core if I really like it, you know? I think that's the problem. People are going in without a plan and they're looking to get their hands hold. And that's just not the way this works. I mean, this is war. Like, the market is war every day. And people have to realize that, you know, if you lost $1,000, somebody else made $1,000. There's no new money, or, you know, it's all just a transfer of money going on. So, you know, it's a game, man. There's winners and losers, but it's not on a guy like you or a group like ours. It's, you know, as long as we do our diligence, that if we take responsibility to put out an idea, it needs to be, you know, well thought out idea. But then from there, it's like, you know, that's it. You kind of on your own a little bit. You know, I push you out of the nest. It's kind of like, you know, here's how you fly, and then, you know, you're out of the nest.
Here's the sad fucking reality of it all. It's like, nobody fucking told you to try to be a day trader. Go get a job. You don't like this? This is what it is. It's the most ruthless fucking scammed, manipulated market you've ever seen, between the front loads with options and big boards and all the fucking, I could go on for days about that. But this is what it is. So nobody told you need to be a day trader. Like, if you can't handle it, go get a fucking job.
Anything else, like, it's a skill like anything else. And, you know, like me, I'm a fisherman, like, or I'm on Long Island, right? So I'm a surf fisherman, I'm a boat fisherman. I've been fishing. I'm 34 years old.
So you're gonna
also, by the way. So we're actually the same age, which is interesting. But so I've been fishing my whole life, right? And you know how I like comparing trading to fishing all the time, and I won't try to go off on a tangent here, but this is a good analogy and something that I like to talk about all the time with people. You know, compare it to fishing. You know, you first of all, you don't have to go fishing every day, right? You could just observe. You could go down to the beach without a fishing pole and just watch the tide, look for structure, watch the birds, you know, and then come back, keep notes. The last probably 10 to 15 years of my fishing career, my life fishing career, I keep notes. okay, if I was catching fish that day, why was I? How hard was the wind blowing? What direction? What kind of tide was it? Was it raining? Was it sunny? I just note all the conditions that worked, right? And then over like a 10-year period, you keep that log of when you don't catch fish, when you do catch fish, and you'll start to see patterns. And I think trading is really no different than fishing. It's a patience game. It's an acquired, learned skill that takes it could take a lot longer than people have patience to learn. You got to learn how to tie the knots. You got to tie your own bait. You got to string your own pole, and like I could show someone how to fish, but at the end of the day, like, fishing is a lot harder than just going down to the beach with a pole and expecting.
Dude, you know how many people caught a fish and right before they scoop it overboard, the fish falls and goes back in the water?
That too. That's another good analogy.
That's the same thing as having gains and then losing them all. It's like, you didn't put your net out and you didn't like do it right. You didn't
exactly,
pick up the fish properly.
And then, here's another thing. Know when you caught enough fish and go home. You know what I mean? So I think the point that I'm trying to make is that, it's a skill that takes time, and you don't just learn how to, become a good fisherman in 2 weeks. You don't learn how to fly an airplane without going to flight school. Think of any skill that takes time and effort to learn, and trading is no different. And I think people, they just want to go in and they want to make money, and that's not necessarily how it works.
A lot of these dudes they came in, I don't know where the hell. First of all, again, a lot of these young guys, they come from this, let me not say that. Anyway, a lot of these people, man, they just think everything's just entitled to them. Like it's just coming to them. Like they come into the market, they get this GameStop bullshit, they make easy money, and then now they think everyone's on the same level as them. So they can't make money, and they think no one else can make money. And they're like, how you're a fraud. You can't be making money. There's no way you're making money because I can't make money. You can't make money because you don't know how to fucking trade. You came in off some bullshit GameStop hype. You made some quick money in the beginning, and now you have no fucking clue what to do.
Well, I think it's a right now mentality economy that we're in. You order something on Amazon, it's on your door the next day. You turn on the internet, it's instant. I mean, we're not that old, right? 34 years old, like we're not that old.
No, but we are old enough where we've seen, like, we came from like where you have to work to get shit done.
We are I think we are one of the last generations that can remember like dial-up internet, a really long telephone cord going from the kitchen to the living room. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that kind of humbles us to have a little bit of patience, and it is definitely an underlying subconscious trait. I think that does help trading as far as patience is concerned. So, all right. So let me switch it up here a little bit. Speaking of podcasts, I said, we appreciate you on here as well. And again, if everybody likes what they're hearing tonight, just, give us a subscribe, give us a like, all that jazz. We appreciate it. Kind of helps the algorithms and everything, gets our message out there a little bit more and lets us have great conversations with people like LB. But with that being said, you did a recent one with these trader babes, which I thought was cool. Oh, yeah. So I saw them, right? I saw them, they started promoting. I know you guys were kind of talking about it, like you were going to get it going. And then it looks like you did. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So I reached out to them. I was like, hey, support these girls. Like, this is cool what they're doing. They're starting from scratch, It's definitely not an easy thing to do. I mean, anybody could do a podcast, right? But actually, and we're in the process of doing this. Like, anybody could get a podcast going, right? But to get people to actually listen to it is hard. So anything we could do to help trader babes, if they're listening live, if they're listening after the fact, we are excited for you guys. We support what you're doing. And if you ever want to come on come on our show, be our guest, just reach out to me at Mass Trades. But how was your appearance on that? How was that? Was that fun?
Yeah, I love doing it because people always ask like different questions, and it's always like, it's a good way to like share some of the stuff that I'm doing for anyone who wants to listen, but I just think it's cool for them because there's a lot of female traders who do this,
right?
And like, maybe they just want to hear it from women, and women have different takes on everything. So
exactly,
it's good to hear like a woman's take. How many times I have female friends, like, how many times I have to call them to ask them for their opinion on shit, because I know if I call fucking one of my friends, like my guy friends, like it's just night and day opinions. You know,
it's what it is. That's why we have a lot of female. We try to get a lot of females on our show too, because it's just a different perspective. That I think it's such a male dominated space that if you go into any chat room, you just assume that everybody's a guy. And, you know, I think it's a good thing to have everybody realize, like, listen, there's a lot of females in this market too, and they provide a very valuable opinion that I think some thick-headed guys could definitely take note of. So yeah, it's cool that they're doing what they're doing. Speaking of women, what does "oh babes" mean? So like when you're like "oh babes,"
this is me talking shit.
So that's like that's when you're in a hot trade, pretty much. You're like, "oh babe," that's like, "oh shit, we're in a good one."
Yeah, So most of the time, if you haven't figured it out by now, most of the Twitter posts when I'm celebrating, it's just me talking shit. All the fucking clowns who are like, "Oh, your company's overvalued. I read the fundamentals, blah blah blah," and I'm still winning on the trade. Or the people that just constantly, dude, I get fueled at this point. Social media is useless to me unless it's just to have fun, because I get fueled by like literally the snow trade.
Mm-hmm.
We fucking nailed bottom today, right? I don't know if you saw it, but we nailed the fucking.
I was actually
nailed the bottom. No. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. RSI, dude.
Do that shit
every time.
Dude, I fucking hit the dead bottom on that thing, and it ripped. And literally half the fucking reason I do this shit sometimes is just to fucking say that I did it, and just to fucking boast in their face, because these people are so fucking annoying. Dude, I'm like so annoyed to the point where I've just decided to have fun with these people, because like they just. Here's the thing, you know, people don't know. This is what I wanted to touch on. And again, if you guys want to stop me at any point, just stop me. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of people who you might think know how to trade, they don't actually know how to trade. They know one style: momentum, pump, ride the pump, momentum, whatever, news, garbage, blah, blah, blah. The old school technical trading, a lot of them don't know that. So when I'm in a stock that's red, and you don't, like, for example, Blink today, you got the whole world doesn't know. If you're in my chat room, you know this, but the whole world doesn't, because I was on voice when I said it. The whole world has no idea that I sold Blink this morning on that pop when it went to 41.50. I got out in the chat. I said it. Guys, get out. It's gonna dump you.
It's definitely struggling.
Yeah. So I got everybody out. Okay. Then we reload at the bottom, and then we play it back up. So nobody. I could go cheer about it, post a GIF, say, "Oh, babes," whatever. And you'll look at it and you'll be like, what is this guy cheering about? The stock barely went anywhere from yesterday. This guy's a clown. But you guys don't know my moves. You have no idea what level I'm on, like where I'm at in the trade, where I sold, where I rebought. Nobody has a fucking clue. And I'm over here having fun with it because I'm nailing it and I'm having fun. I'm making money. Like, why not have fun with it? But the problem is, there's too many people that think everything is a buy and hold. You can't sell. Another guy said this morning, it's like people act like the sell button doesn't exist. You know, you have to learn when to exit and then re-enter. You know,
that's and especially it's hard to put out everything you're doing across whatever channels that you're even in. You know, like I know a lot about what I'm doing. I don't talk about. You know, I can't. It's it's time consuming. You know. I don't have the following you have, but even if I did, it's like I can't be putting out everything I'm doing. And it's like it takes too much time. I'm trading, man. You know,
I'll be honest.
I'll put out the good ones, but I'm doing a lot more than what I'm talking about.
I'll be honest with you. I don't even understand those people that do put out all that information. Like, to me, it's like sketchy. It's like a little sketchy when people put out like too much free info. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? But anyway,
yeah.
Besides that, it's like I'm not here to like literally give you I put so many years, like fucking, I've lost enough money trying to figure this stuff out. I have a skill. I use it to my advantage. I'm proud that I have it.
Yeah.
But I don't owe anybody anything more than just sharing the trade idea. You know,
That's it, man. You want to just like stay laid back and relax and kick it without shoes on and eat your cookies and your pizza, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I got a premium Discord. Those people, they get my undivided attention to learn and know where to get in and where to get out and teach them like real trading. You know, but as far as like the Twitter stuff, the Twitter's cool, but like, you know, people need to take accountability for like and understand that like you don't know what the move is. Like you don't know what my move might be, or you don't know where I'm exiting, or if I see the charts turning, I'm gonna get out so I don't get bagged.
Nice.
And I'm gonna reload the dip. You know what I mean?
Well, hopefully people listening to you tonight get a better understanding of that, which is kind of like what we're going for on this podcast a little bit too. It's, you know, we're kind of just like the intermediary to, you know, people speaking to their own following, new potential followings, our following. It's kind of like it's definitely a cool platform for people to just kind of come on an unbiased platform and just kind of speak to where they're coming from and share a little bit of their mentality. So we hope that, you know, people listening to you tonight are getting a better understanding of kind of, you know, your mentality when you're approaching things like that, and how, you know, you're a very tactical trader, and not to hold certain things against you. But you did mention before that you know, you're on social media to have fun, right? So I want to have some fun with you right now. I have a little bit of a lightning round of food. And so you just give me one or the other. I'm going to give you options, and you're going to tell me one or the other. Okay.
Yeah.
Domino's or Papa John's?
Domino's.
Chips Ahoy or Keebler?
Dude, Keebler's trash, bro.
Subway cookies or Otis Spunkmeyer?
Otis Spunkmeyer all day.
I agree.
Actually, dude, I actually had those in fucking high school. They used to make them like hot and
Tell me about it, dude. Dude, Otis Spunkmeyer cookies were the shit. They were like 50 cents, and you get this like, it looked like a pizza pie. It was a cookie.
Dude, they had them did they have them in your? I think that's a New York thing. It was like in the schools.
Yeah. You get a small or a large. The small was like, I don't know. I think the small was like a quarter, and the large was like 50 cents. You're like, give me the large.
Dude, those things are like that's the people behind the counter in the cafeteria were so mad because they literally spent all their time making cookies, like nothing else.
That's it, man. All right, I got one more. Regular. I'm talking about pizza now. Regular or Sicilian?
Regular.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you would go Sicilian.
No, you got to test out a pizza like with a regular pie first.
It's true. Yeah, I mean, some of the best pizza places that I know, like it's all comes down to the regular. But some places have good specialty, but their regular sucks, and that confuses me sometimes. It's weird. It's like, yeah, your specialties are good, but your regular sucks. You know?
Yeah,
but
that's like.
I mean,
are you familiar with what the fuck's it called now? God damn it! Now I can't remember. Are you familiar with the spot in the Bronx that have like the chicken?
That's a question for Chris.
It's the chicken a la vodka. They're like famous in the Bronx. It's like chicken a la vodka pizza. I can't think of the damn name right now.
Is that by like?
Regardless, it's in Morris Park.
Okay, Morris. Okay.
I can't think of the name, but anyway, they're known for this like chicken. What is it? Vodka sauce pizza or whatever. They're known for it, but like, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's amazing!" And it is. It tastes good, but the reality is, it's like thick crust. It's not. If you go look at their regular pizza, it's trash. But the chicken with vodka sauce pizza is good. You know, so it's like, you know, and they're famous for it, but their regular pie is garbage. So,
there's a spot in Plainview, New York, that I used to go to when I worked in the area. And at any given time for lunch, they had about 35 specialty options. It was unbelievable. They had like ravioli pizza and like shrimp scampi, like you name it. They had everything on a pizza. It was unbelievable. And the regular was good, but it was all about the specialty when you went there. And the line was out the door. They were closed Sundays. I think we talked about this place on the last episode, but any place that's closed on Sundays, you know, it's legit. That's the bottom line.
Dude, I'll take it a step further. Johnny's in Mount Vernon, which I think is the best in the country.
Oh, dude. Hell yeah.
Dude, they're closed on Sunday and Monday, and they open at 12 p.m. and they close at 9. They don't give a fuck, and it's cash only. Like they really don't give a fuck.
Yeah. There's a burger joint on Long Island. It's called All American. I'm sure a lot of people have heard of All American. They've been on TV and stuff, but it's cash only. It's cash only.
Yeah.
They're closed all winter. Like the family like goes back to Greece or something. It's like so old school. But all right, so let's jump back into the market. I have a few more. I'm sorry.
I got one more thing though.
Yeah,
while
sure.
we're on that topic, yo, L Beats. All right, so you gotta tell me about the pizza in Miami real quick. You gotta tell me about that pizza down there. Is that any good? Have you found a spot, man?
Let me say this. I have to say this. Hopefully the people are listening. The people that are following, listening. Dude, everybody's like, try this place, try that place. They're all fucking garbage, man. Every single one of them. And I'm not being funny. Domino's is better than every freaking pizzeria I've had here. And the problem is the sauce, like, even if the pizza looks good, the flavoring is off. Like the sauce is off, the cheese is off, the dough is off. Like at least the Domino's here tastes like the Domino's in New York, but the pizza here just tastes funny. Like it's just not good. Like
what kind of cuisine have you come to like down there that New York just doesn't have?
Down here,
is it like Cuban food?
I saw like sushi and stuff.
No, I'm not into Cuban. I like the Colombian food a lot.
Yeah, me too.
Big fan of Colombian food. Like there's actually one of my favorite Colombian restaurants is here. So I used to go there. I've been coming down here forever. So every time I would come here, I would go to that Colombian place. So now I live next to it. So it's dope.
Oh God. Are you gaining weight or are you losing weight down there?
Honestly, I'm like staying the same because I only eat like once or twice a day. Like I'll eat a massive meal. I don't know if it's healthy or not, but like I'll eat breakfast and I'll eat like, I don't know. I eat 2 meals a day. Sometimes
yeah.
One. You know what I mean?
Do you trade pre-market or no?
Nope.
No, you're like a 9:30. You're a 9:30 guy.
No, because I found that I lost money more. I usually lose money in pre-market somehow. Very rarely do I make money. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck all that. I'm just gonna I'll go get breakfast. I'll go I'm up, but I just don't trade. I'll look at the market.
I'm on the same page right now since I've been home on my leave. I'm not trading pre-market at all. There's been times where it was like that's almost all I was doing, but now it's not even so much. I messed with some Chinese low floats this morning. I tweeted that yesterday, and that all those trades came out for me. I'm having a lot of luck right now with just known sympathies. So, last night I saw that LYL had a good after hours move, right? So I tweeted out, I was like, looking for continuation pre-market there. It had a nice dip after the bell, caught the little, rebound on that. And then I just know just from trading these China low floats, it's like, all right, LYL is going. All right, watch WEI, watch JFU. And I think, I can't remember, but like 2 out of 3 of those hit. I think the other one was JFU was good for like 15%. And even WEI had a very solid day, light volume, but it was just creeping all day. And I was done by 10:30 this morning. Like I was just out.
Yeah. Dude, the faster, I always tell people, the faster you should have a daily goal that you try to hit, and the faster you can get there, the faster you're done for the day.
That's it, man. I had a lot to do today just around the house and working out in the yard and stuff. So I'm like, I can't be staring at it. There's some days where I'm just like, I can't stare at this crap all day. And, we even had,
I
radio.
wish more people would get this. The stuff you're saying right now. I wish people would like understand what you're saying.
Who's a big spokesperson for that kind of mentality is Radio Silent Play. We had him on the show. If anybody wants to listen to it, just go and, check out the links on the show here. But, he's very much, be the monk on the lake kind of thing he promotes, and have patience, and, a watched, what's the other code? A watched pot never boils, like all that kind of mentality. It's like, don't wait for that pot of water to start boiling, man. It's like, if you're done for the day, you're done. Like, and I had a nice day with my kids, man. I was done by 10:30. We're hanging out in the yard all day. It's like,
that's it, dude. I tell people all the time in the chat room, like, dude, I'm done. I don't feel like looking at this shit anymore. Like I made my money,
especially now, right? The market's slow as shit. But all right,
so very limited, plays.
I want to jump into a few more things because I know, we're getting towards the end of our show here. But a couple things I wanted to get your take on are a few things really. NFTs. I think we agree on NFTs, but I'm just curious to hear what you have to say about those. So I have NFTs, Wall Street bet pumps, and this coin IPO and crypto in general. So I don't know which one you want to start with, but could we just quickly go through those three things?
Everybody's a sucker. That's all I can say.
So NFTs are like, what are they? Are they like Pogs? Like, I'm waiting for my Pogs to become valuable again. Yeah, you think it's like the new Pogs?
NFTs, they're like Beanie Babies, bro. This shit's fucking worthless. I'll tell you, like a Beanie Baby, the Princess Diana Beanie Baby could be worth $20,000, right? But here's the deal: you're not gonna find anyone to give you fucking $20,000 for it. So therefore, it's a bag. It's not a bag because it should cost $5, but
it's a beanie bag.
The thing is, if you bought it for like 10 grand like a moron, then you have a bag. But if you own it at $5 and someone tells you it's worth 20K, it's still it's worthless. It's worth $5 because you're not going to find anyone to give you that money. The same thing, these NFTs. No one, I don't give a shit about that quote unquote random person that allegedly paid XYZ for these. You're not finding anyone to buy any fucking NFT that you own. You're not finding anyone to buy that shit from you for a high dollar value. So
it just seems like some, like the majority of them are going to be worthless, and maybe like, you know, the 1% will have value at the end of the day.
Dude, most people are stupid, dude. That's a fact. Most people are stupid. So they eat up all this crap.
So the other two things that I have, and I think this would be kind of fun. So I have Wall Street Bet pumps and what that kind of did to the market since we spoke, and then I have the coin and crypto. So why don't we do this like a short lightning? You give me your opinion, I give you mine really quick. So Wall Street Bets, what do you think?
It's a limited, like a fad kind of thing. It's no different. Here's the thing, I need more than a second on this. Sure. Like the Wall Street Bets thing is like, it's no different than the NFT phase. Like the NFT thing came and it went. It's gone already, right? Yeah. The Wall Street Bets thing, it came and it went. And you saw the clowns trying to push like the short squeeze play, and that came and went. Everything comes and goes in the market. NFTs came and went. The Wall Street Bets thing came and went, and that's just how it is. You know, so
I think Wall Street Bets is kind of like, you know, it was fun while it lasted. We all definitely made some money with it if you were playing with it. But I think ultimately it did a lot of positive too. I mean, fads are good, whatever. That creates volatility, and if you trade the volatility, right? But I think what it did that was negative was that it brought a lot of new traders into new participants. Let's just say it brought new participants into the market that were coming into the market for the wrong reasons, right? So those people, and that's not good. I mean, ultimately, a guy like you, a guy like, you know, us, we don't want people to just come lose all their money and exit the market. Like, we want people to come into the market and participate and keep the liquidity and you know what they're doing. But these people, you know, a lot of them, I think it's safe to say they came in for the wrong reasons. They blew up an account, and that's it. They're like, oh, trading's a scam, and they never come back. And trading isn't a scam. You know, just because you come in, you blow up your account because you came in for the wrong reasons, doesn't make it a scam. It's just like if I go back to fishing, right? You go fishing, you expect to catch a fish on the first day you go to the beach, and you don't catch a fish. Is fishing a scam? No, you just haven't taken the time to learn how to fish. So I think that's what Wall Street Bets kind of did. It brought a lot of people in for the wrong reasons, and it kind of turned them off. And I think ultimately, long term, that's not good for the market, you know, because now you got people that are never going to come back, you know.
Well, you know, this is again, you know, I deal with this way more than you guys probably do.
Sure.
But I deal, and that's why it's so annoying to me. But I deal with this shit all the time. And like, people literally, they're attacking me when I'm saying like, first of all, they call me an idiot because because I'm not bullish on their GameStop at $300. I'm an idiot, right? And then when I'm like trying to teach them something, I'm like, yo, guys, this shit is in the tank. I'm showing them the chart. I'm showing them the technicals. The guys like call me a clown, blah blah blah. And I'm talking to a guy who entered the market 3 weeks ago. I have no fucking idea.
With 10,000 followers.
Right. And he's talking to me like I can self-proclaim that I'm fucking nasty with the charts. Everybody, I know this, right? You know what I mean? Like, it sounds funny, but like, whatever, I could say it. And
all right. So the last thing is the coin IPO tomorrow and crypto in general. So I know before we went on the air, the three of us were kind of talking. So you saw 250, I saw 600. Chris was seeing like something else. It's like, I don't even know what it's going to open at. But
I don't know.
You even had Kramer on the air today saying buy it on the open. I saw that. It's like, what?
Yeah, these guys are clowns, dude. They're like, I'm almost wondering if they're like paid promoters. Like, it's retarded. Honestly, I'm not touching it. And like I told people in the chat room tonight, the less opportunities that you try to pounce on, the better off you're going to be. Because if you're not taking calculated, safe trades, you're going to lose money that's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. Even if you lose like $2,000 on it tomorrow trying to trade it, it's unnecessary. What's the point? You're going to buy it at open, and it could go one of two ways. It could either spike high, or the thing could just fucking dump 10 points. And if you went in with like, I don't know about them, but like I like to trade with size. So, if I were to buy 1,000 shares or whatever, and it drops 10 points, I'm out 10 grand. Even if I do 500 shares, I'm down 5,000. Like, it's a waste of money to get so hyped up into these things and rush into them. They're the most overvalued, front-loaded pieces of crap. And Coinbase is a piece of shit. So
yeah, I think what's going to be cool is like, just keep an eye on anything that's like sympathy. But I know like in our chat today, we were saying and a lot of people on there the same thing. How is this going to affect all the crypto plays, your Mars, your Riots, like all that kind of stuff? And it seems like it's kind of sell the news. In my opinion, I think it's kind of sell the news for everything else a little bit. It's like coin. Yeah. It's like you'll get that spike in the morning and then ultimately like a fade the rest of the day on all the sympathies. That's what I think is going to happen. Maybe you think
I'll tell you one thing. If I could find shares to short on IBKR, I'm going to probably try to short that thing. But will it work? I have no idea. But I'm going to try it because I have a high conviction that it's going to dump.
What was that ticker you just mentioned? I didn't hear it.
No, for coin, for that coin.
Oh, okay, crap. I got you. No, was there any sympathies you had in mind to go long or short?
So here's what I have to say about that. In regards to, and I hope I'm not like shitting on your game plan tomorrow.
I have no game plan for it at all. I have no holdings in crypto right now. So go ahead.
No, I just think that tomorrow, like I actually posted about this like an hour ago. It's like tomorrow's going to be like pump and dump central, because what's going to happen is everybody and their mother is going to be calling out a sympathy play, which is basically, it's bullshit, right? So it's like, dude, there's going to be pump and dumps left and right. Everyone trying to call some kind of angle. I'm not touching. I'm literally going to stay in my lane. I'm going to play my Blink. I'm going to play my Snow. I'm going to play my Tesla. I'm going to play my OTC. I'm going to stay in my lane, and I'm going to keep making my money, because I don't need those types of stocks to make me money.
It's too crowded. It's just too crowded.
It's just stupid. Yeah. Like
I have Chris writing in the chat here. Coinbase expected IPO at $350.
Yeah. You know what, bro? They keep raising it because they know these retail guys are fucking morons, and they're laughing all the way to the bank, dude. And they know it's gonna. Let me break it down further. They know it's gonna dump, or they think it's gonna dump. So the higher they can put it, the easier they can. Let's say, like, I'll give it to you like this: if a stock's $10 and you market sell on a low floater, right?
Yep.
And you market sell 100,000 shares on a low floater, it might drop to like $6.50 or $7 on a really tiny float, right? If the stock was $7 and you market sell, you drop that thing to like $3, right? Let's just say 1 million shares, not 100,000, but let's say 1 million shares. You market sell on a low floater, you dump the stock, right?
Right.
So the higher you go, even at the lowest price that you're filling, if you take a $10 stock and you market sell the whole thing, and you end up filling like sevens and shit, like you're still getting $7 a share. If they can pump this thing to 350, and even if it did dump to like 300 or 280 or whatever, they're still getting 280 for the, like Nas, the rapper. He's allegedly supposed to make like $100 million. All these people are going to probably dump, dude. So the higher they can make this thing, the easier it is for them to get out. That's my opinion. I don't know.
Speaking of rappers, man, I've been listening to nothing but DMX during my workouts, and I swear to God, I'm getting more reps and more weight. How about you?
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. I was listening to him the other day, and like his lyrics are just like you listen to him differently when you hear it now.
Yeah, you know what's cool? Like I almost forgot how awesome he is. And I've been just listening nonstop lately, and it's just really.
I find a lot of resemblances to Tupac with him, actually.
I mean, you're originally from kind of the same area, right?
Yeah, I'm from. Well, I was born in. I grew up in Yonkers over there, so I mean, yeah. I lived in different places too, but I'm basically from there. So
Yeah, well, it sounds like you're from New York, just like it sounds like I'm from New York, and I think that's why we get along so good on the air here. It's just kind of like two people talking, right?
Yeah, man. I love it.
We should call the show P1TALKS.
But I love being from New York, man. As much as I hate the state right now, I love being from there because there's nothing like being from New York. You know what I mean?
It makes you tough. That's it.
It makes you tough. We're not gullible people. Like we don't fall into traps and bullshit. And
dude,
give it to you straight, plain and simple, no bullshit kind of attitude.
Dude, I had a guy. You want to laugh? I'm sure you guys will get a laugh out of this. You know when you're on Twitter and you mention a stock and someone's like, "Great stock, man. I'll take a look. Check out this one." And then they tag their fucking stock. I'm like, get out of here, dude. Trying to fucking pump me on your garbage. Like,
I don't have a ton of following. Like, I appreciate the followers I have and whatever, but people are starting to reply to my good thoughts that I put out. I like to think that, right? And then I'll give you a nice breakdown, like a good trade idea set up. I tell you where the stop is, what the range, what I'm looking at, low and high and blah blah blah, right? And then they'll just take something totally different out of
right.
I'm like, dude, what the I don't have a lot. What do you want me to do? First of all, I don't have the following you think I have, and I'm not gonna retweet it. What are you doing?
That's right.
And it's and then on top of that, it's it's a bag for that person. So it's
this is two things I want to say. If you have to go tweet an unrelated stock, screaming bag, right? Mm-hmm. The same way. If you're hating on someone that's not bothering you, it oozes jealousy. If you want to save yourself the embarrassment, don't hate on someone randomly that's not even talking to you, because you're just telling everyone you're jealous and you're envious. You know what I'm saying? You're better off just keeping your mouth shut. The same way you're better off keeping your bag to yourself. Tagging your bag in a cool stock that it just oozes that you need help and you're hurting,
So I agree, man. Let me switch up a little bit. I want to ask you one more thing, and then we're going to start wrapping it up. The 50K challenge. How's that been going? I know you started it in the beginning of April, if I'm not mistaken. I see that's kind of going well. Yeah. Right? What's your approach to that? What are the goals of it? What do you hope to accomplish with it, or kind of take us through it a little bit?
Yeah. So it's actually not. It's not new for me. It's just new for Twitter. Mm-hmm. Although I've already done this for a while. If you noticed a few months ago or a few weeks, I don't know how long ago, but I started preaching pay yourself, pay your taxes, take your money out. Yep. I started doing that in the beginning of the year. So I started the beginning of the year with 50K. And then at the end of every month, I just reset my account to back to 50K. That's just what I do. So this is the first month that I'm publicly posting my profit loss for every day. But it's literally in line with what I've already been doing. So for me, it's nothing new, but I'm just posting what I'm trying to show people is the fact that you don't need to keep $500,000 or $1 million or more than that into a trading account. You don't need to do all that. I have 50K. Do I use margin? Yeah, sometimes, but I don't use it on penny stocks. I use it on Blink or Snow or something that's legit.
Yeah, I think that's a good lesson that people could take from it. They could see that it's about the skill of trading and not necessarily the amount of size and leverage that you have. It really just comes down to give me any amount of money and I'll grow it. I think that's kind of what you're trying to project. That's the lesson that you're projecting, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm basically showing people is with 50K, you can still make good money and you can do it every day. And actually, as the days go on, your account gets bigger, your buying power gets bigger. So it gets easier as the month goes on. Mm-hmm. The first few days, it's a little rough, but literally after first day or two, it's just easy.
I think it keeps it in perspective, and it keeps you humble along the way as well, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it keeps me focused. I'm almost at I already have a goal for this week. So at the end of the week, I want my account to be at 110,000. That's where it's projected to be at by Friday. So assuming I make an average of $5,000 a day, let's just say, by it's at 97,000, I think, or 96, I forgot. So by the end of this week, I should be at 110. And then by the end of next week, I should be at like 130, 135, something like that. I just have a daily goal, a weekly goal, and I focus on that. So like, just to bring it back to the IPO, if I go chasing that IPO, I'm going to end up losing. Like, I'm on, what's the word? Like, I'm rocking right now. You know what I mean? Like, I got a flow going, like I'm good. If I start chasing that stuff, it throws me off. I could either make a ton of money or I could lose a ton of money. And it's just all out of the ordinary of what I normally do. So it's like, why am I it's just going to mess me up. I'm not interested. So I'm going to stick with what I do and keep making my goal.
Yeah. I mean, I hope everybody's hearing that out there. I mean, you have a plan, you have your rules, you have your goals, and that's it. You know, you're going to keep your head down until you reach, implement your plan, stick to your rules, and get to those goals. So I think a lot of people need to take note of that. It's a great way to approach the market.
Because it throws me. It's going to throw me off. If I lose money, not only will I be mad, but it'll just throw off my whole thing.
Yeah. Well, I wish you the best of luck in the next week getting to that goal. We really appreciate you coming on the show again. You liked us enough to come back on, and we appreciate that. And you gave us some of your insights again. You're always welcome to come back on. I really enjoy talking with you on the air. I think we have a very similar mindset, and it's kind of fun to just kind of come on here and BS back and forth a little bit.
It's always fun.
Cool. So, hey, to everybody listening, we appreciate it. What are we at? Episode 12 now. So it's been fun. LB's been what is like the third episode or something. He came on when we were very early in this game, and I think that takes a little bit of guts to come on too. So we appreciate that. And here you are again, and we're developing this relationship, and that's what's fun about social media. There's we talked about a lot of the negative stuff a little bit here tonight, and take that with a grain of salt. But there's a lot of positive to come out of it too. I think there's a lot of good things that it's good for, and one of those things is meeting a guy like you and having you on the show and just putting out good content like this. So we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, no, it's always fun, man. I always have fun doing this stuff. So
to everybody listening, just so you know, we're now on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts as well. So after we wrap, I think it takes a little while, but eventually the content merges onto there. If it's a little easier for you to listen in the car or something like that, we heard your feedback, and just one last plug, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts. If it makes it easy for everybody, we're happy with that. Again, we opened our own new Discord too. If you want to come check us out and see what we're all about, we love that. If you go with LB too, that's cool, man. It's a big ocean of trading, and wherever you could go to grow is awesome. So those links are in the description as well. LB's handle is in the description. Another thing I wanted to plug was the cancer charity that we're donating a portion of our proceeds to. That link is in our description as well. That's a cancer charity for one of our members, Leader Trading. A charity that he's very much involved with, that we've partnered with. So we feel like we're doing a good thing there. We encourage you to check out that link in the description as well. We have a lot of new guests booked. Pretty much I'm the guy who's booking everybody. And let me tell you something, we have quite the lineup coming from now until June. I think a lot of people are going to be pleasantly surprised about some of these guests that are on here. I'm really excited to announce. I wish I could just tell everybody now, but we want to leave some element of surprise. But I will say that our next episode is going to be 2 weeks from now. As always, it's going to be Tuesday, April 27th at 8:30. We are going to be speaking with the Trader Chick. So we look forward to having a great conversation with her in 2 weeks. And again, if you like everything you're hearing on this show, like and subscribe. And again, we appreciate everything everybody's doing. We wish you the best of luck in all your trading endeavors moving forward. And we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Thanks, LADE.
Thank you guys. Yeah, I had a blast, bro. Let's kill it tomorrow. So
let's do it.
Yeah, same thing. All right, guys. Later.
Good night, guys.
All right.